In 1994, as a community development worker at the Health Sharing Women, I organized a 2-day conference of immigrant and refugee women at the Abbotsford Convent in Collingwood. This was attended by more than 200 women. The conference concluded with a unanimous recommendation that a statewide organization of immigrant and refugee women be set up to act as a lobby and advocacy group. It was really as far back as 1994 that the seed, for the formation of the organization was planted.
I've always felt quite committed to the notion that women must have their own organisations. To me, it was a natural development in the political and social kaleidoscope of Victoria, and it was a very important thing to have as an organisation in the state.
Thus, in 1998, after working on a constitution agreed upon by the pioneering 20 or so women who remained with us, the Victorian Immigrant and Refugee Women's Coalition was launched with an interim council of 4 women: Vula Mesemeriki-Yanidis, Lisha Kokochinsky, Frances Ho, who has since passed away, and myself.
When Melba asked me to be the patron, I thought it was just so important. We've got to have a network that was basically concentrating on finding out the needs of migrant women and advocating for those women. No other women's organisation specifically does that, and I think it is crucial to have that voice very clearly put.
Empowering women so that they can be effective leaders in their chosen fields and communities is at the core of our work. We pioneered the development of a women's leadership course module in 2003 that was delivered to 29 migrant and refugee women as part of a project funded by the Department of Immigration, Multicultural and Indigenous Affairs. Since then, we have delivered the module to various groups in partnership with local councils and other organizations.
The thing I learned from women, from leadership, I learned to look after my group, my dancing group, and I become a good leader to lead my people, the one I would lead them. In my group was 26 people, and I learned how to do meeting with them, to meet with them.
For me, it is very important that I learned a lot through the leadership course and through the network. When I took the course, I met a few people from different cultures, understand their differences. At the same time, I learned a lot about how to be all the way, or could be in the way, how to be a leader and how to work with the women later on in my life.
I think the coalition is unique in that it's immigrant and refugee women doing it for themselves, running the coalition, controlling it, and basically meeting immigrant and refugee women wherever they may wish to be.
It's an organisation for migrant and refugee women by migrant and refugee women. They have an understanding of the issues, they are inclusive of all communities, and they're very hard working with very little money. So you have to applaud that in this day and age.
One of the things that this organisation has provided is an arena for dialogue and exchange. And they turn their functions into a celebration of affirming that women have stories to tell. They give the platform for those stories to be told at all levels, from personal, living, cultural level to professional and artistic endeavours.
In 2003, we partnered with the Buat to develop a multicultural choir that sang women's songs and lullabies, a project that was funded by Arts Victoria. In 2007, the Recipe for Community Harmony project that was funded by the Office of Women's Policy used creative drama and film to draw out women's aspirations and goals for the society they live in. Also in 2007, the City of Melbourne funded the Listen to Us, a project that used community arts-based workshops to confront service providers and the wider community with the issues faced by 4 different groups of women. For several years now, we have celebrated International Women's Day by holding our own Women's Diversity Day. The first Women's Diversity Day was held in 2002 at the Collingwood Town Hall, courtesy of a grant from the VMC. After doing her traditional Welcome to Nation speech, our patron, Joy Wandin Murphy, was obviously moved by the subsequent ceremony of women from different cultures embracing her and adorning, wrapping, and showering her with gifts.
One of the most memorable experiences as a patron of the Coalition was the series of speakers that the Coalition brought together at the Queen Victoria Women's Centre of migrant women who'd been successful, and they talked about their business experience, their political experience, and I think it's just so important to share those stories and build women's confidence and their feeling that they have the power to act.
We believe that our story as a women's coalition is a narrative on citizenship. We have developed women who have demonstrated their active presence in their local communities, at conferences, forums, and consultations. Through our members, immigrant and refugee issues have been brought